Intelligent design versus ordered chaos. Apologies to everyone beforehand about my using all caps at times in this video's text. I am not shouting. All caps typing allows me to very quickly get my thoughts down without doing the uppercase, lowercase, uppercase dance on my iPad. Sometimes my eyes are very tired, and all caps are much easier to read. Now, some of you watching this video may be atheists, believing there's no God, no supreme being. Others may be agnostic, weighing the evidence, but still undecided about the existence of God. Some may believe God exists, but has lost interest in his creation and unconcerned with the humans that live here. And others just do not care about any of all of this. They just exist, never considering why they are here or being responsible to any moral constructs. I also realize, most importantly, that many people have decided the theory of macroevolution is indeed fact, and natural causes fully explain our existence, and thus God need not be part of the equation. Fine. I, however, after spending 3 decades working in the scientific field and over 5 decades studying macroevolution versus specially designed creation, am fully persuaded that only guided design and an intelligence created this universe and our world. Why? I will mention only one of the thousands of examples of things that can only be explained by design and not the result of macroevolution. It cannot be due to natural selection or environmental pressures. It cannot be the result of a vast chain of lucky mutations. It could not sort of function, being only partly developed and non-functional. It would offer no benefit according to evolutionary theory. It would offer no advantage, and natural selection would have erased that mutant line. And here it is. Most people looking at a fish and see nothing amazing, nothing unique. It's a nice catch that will taste great. End of story. However, unseen and unknown to most fishermen is the very unique lateral line system that fish possess. What is it? If you look at this fish, this striped bass that this guy is holding, it indicates that the darker line is the lateral line on this striped bass. And you see by the arrows, it runs pretty much from the gills all the way down to the tail, roughly running from about the same height as the eye down to about the middle of the tail. Perfectly situated. And why is it there, and what does it do? The lateral line system allows the detection of movement, vibration, and pressure gradients in the water surrounding an animal. It plays an essential role in orientation, predation, and fish schooling by providing special awareness and the ability to navigate in the environment. This sensory system runs almost the whole length of a fish on both sides. Now, in simple words, I would say the lateral line system tells the fish where it is and how to be where it is. It enables the fish to decide whether something is there to eat or am I about to be eaten. Thus, he can elude the predator. And the other thing that it mentions is, think about schools of fish, thousands of them swimming next to each other in perfect orientation. It's all done by the lateral line system. The sensory ability is achieved via modified epithelial cells known as hair cells, which respond to displacement caused by motion and transduce these signals into electrical impulses via excitatory synapses. Lateral lines play an important role in the schooling behavior, predation, and orientation, which was said earlier. If you look here, you will see one of the lateral line system sensory hairs sticking up. The hair cell is connected into the body of the fish. And this simple system picks up vibrations in the water and tells the fish what to do, how to be, and where to go. It's simple, but at the same time elaborately designed, and at the same time very, very effective. This does not look like an accident to me. This does not look like chaos being ordered. This looks like design. This elaborate sensory array was not the lucky result of a genetic mutation 400 million years ago. This amazing sensory system shows forethought and design. There is absolutely no other explanation, but only in macroevolutionary theory's own type of religion does one have such a deep blind faith. And such a faith is ludicrous. Design is the most logical explanation. For those of you who don't read Hebrew, this is a t-shirt I designed, and it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Well, that lateral line system, my friends, is but one very small piece of evidence of design by a creator. Meditate on that and reconsider God, the Lord, being behind it all. I continue. Many will seem confused by the term intelligent design. As a former researcher studying mitochondria, I witnessed design not only in microstructure, but design in the function of such organelles. I have not only studied mitochondrial structures, but also cardiomyocytes, lung cells, skeletal muscle, fibroblasts, collagen, vascular tissue, and in my college days, I studied various plant cells too. What I witnessed, not only on the micro level, but also on the macro level, is a continuity of design, purpose, and function. There is also an innate beauty in it all. The patterns in skeletal muscles, and even a fiddlehead fern. When I was a surveyor for some years, I saw amazing patterns in nature, or even geological patterns. Fossil imprints on shale in Nova Scotia. It's hard to explain, but there's an obvious structural design in so many living things, and even in organic things. Looking at cell tissue under electron microscope, I continually saw things designed with purpose and function. It's hard to explain, but there's an obvious structural design in so many things, and even inorganic things. I look at a rebar in Lowe's supply store and I remember how fibroblasts created similar structures in the human body. You'll see in this image, this electron microscope image. Top left, collagen fibers in cross section. They look like dots coming up at you. Then the big cell running from the left down to the right corner is a fibroblast cell. It creates something called collagen fibers. And if you were able to look up close to them, right about 6 o'clock, going up to about mid-screen on the left, if you look close, the longitudinal section of the collagen fibers, you will see little repeated parallel lines just like a rebar. And this connective tissue, this support tissue, has strength and flexibility because of the cell being programmed, being designed to make collagen. This is not an accident, folks. Come on. The people that simply refuse to see evidence and cry for more typically never accept even reams of examples. It's not a rational nor a logical approach that many evolutionists take. It's attitudinal, biased, prejudiced against all examples of design presented, and thus blind to tons of statistical reasons why evolution is a joke with no punchline. Creationism, to many, is a joke before anyone can say anything. Therefore, it is pointless to try and convince such atheists, agnostics, and nominal organized religious mindsets with worldviews brainwashed by science, so-called. Both macroevolution and creationism require faith. Why do I say that? No one was there to observe what happened. It's all faith in an unseen process. But which one makes the most sense? Let me go on. As no one was there to prove abiogenesis or intelligent design happened, you simply decide to accept the tenets represented by both camps or not. If you carefully and unbiasedly look at the evidence for abiogenesis and macroevolution versus supernatural creation ex nihilo and intelligent design of the universe and life on Earth, the supernatural conclusion always will win. This idea is abhorrent to the mainstream scientific disciplines, and thus we come to the crux of the issue. Creation evidence is always questionable to them. For the creationists, all evolutionary ideas and so-called evidence is seen as untrustworthy. I have been at this since 1974, and the song remains the same as it ever was, same as it ever was. And why do people refuse to consider there is a God and macroevolution is merely an unfounded pipe dream? It is either pride mixed with closed-mindedness or fear. The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. H.P. Lovecraft. Man evolving from some chemical-based goo on a rock is not the oral traditions and written records we have been given about our genesis. Man was specially formed from the dust of the ground, molded into a special entity that God Himself actually breathed His special life and nature into. No other life form was brought into existence in this fashion. The scriptures indicate man was created in the image of God Himself, the Elohim in Hebrew language. Man is a triune being composed of flesh, soul, and spirit. No other life form on earth is like us. Simple chemistry does not give rise to a soul and a spirit. These are unique characteristics impossible to arise by godless evolutionary means. God put eternity in us. That hunger, that feeling we are from beyond, that reason we are driven to discover our place in this universe. We each instinctively know there is more to us than mere chemistry. We paint images, we grow flowers, we sing, we compose music that transcends anything like survival of the fittest ever brought about. We dream, we love, we know we are more than random fluctuations in the space-time continuum. Like I stated earlier, creation was for a special purpose, and mankind was destined for an even more fascinating purpose beyond explanation here. And the omnipotent God has no need for a gradual process of mankind arising. We did not come into being from various forms of hominoids shuffling out of Africa. In fact, the bones of evidence for our supposed evolutionary roots would barely cover the tops of 2 or 3 pool tables. And from that pile, we have concluded erroneously that from these various forms of hominoid fossils, we have proof that we evolved from them. It is pure rubbish. Just like the Burgess Shale Cambrian explosion of life forms from 545 million years ago, modern man, Homo sapiens sapiens, suddenly appeared on this planet by the very finger of God. Evolutionism or creationism both require obvious levels of faithing the details along. Call that religion if you want. I don't do religion. It's a man-made construct. Even now, it's like a corporate business. The Bible is idolized as if it's a sacred idol. I follow Spirit. I do not attend any church, nor subscribe to any organized religion, as they are all wrong. You can say I have a religious belief that supersedes my interest in how the universe works, but you are 100% in error saying so. I am not anti-intellectualism at all. I just don't buy the one-sided, closed-mindedness of many so-called intellectuals' opinion on origins. I have been deeply involved in the sciences professionally. I need not trot out my papers and discoveries. I also was a science teacher in private high school. I have been a science nerd since a child. Again, evolution is a type of religion, and it is bad in that it thinks it is not. Religion is just bad because it thinks it knows everything about God, and many times spouts out really bad ideas like young earth creationism, which is an embarrassment for other creationists not ascribing to such fairy tales. Life forms can be extremely hardy and perhaps on other planets as well. I can accept that. But explain how these organisms ever came to be, abiogenesis, in the first place in the early oceans. And explain how these early Earth organisms developed into more complex entities that eventually moved away into less harmful conditions to further evolve. And when did an organism luck up and decide to leave the ocean, sea, muck pond, and discover it could survive without its liquid environment? These leaps of luck and subsequent survival are ludicrous when someone proves and fully explains how life can arise in millions of hazardous environments on the early Earth or elsewhere. I will start listening. Trouble arises when you assume an early life form arises, and then you forget about the next lightning strike, magma flow, gamma ray burst coming, etc., and thus nixing what life supposedly arose. And then evolutionists faith it along past this nagging problem and amazingly believe more elaborately complex life forms simply come along by mere chance. Chance after chance after chance ad nauseum. What drives simple life to complexity anyway? Complex life was designed, and the conditions for its survival have been a guided process. You are here reading this because of intelligent design. You are not the result of billions of favorable events cascading one into the other. And this just in. Recent studies show abiogenesis on Earth required a ton of luck, and then more luck, and then yet more luck to have ever happened, which actually never happened. Oops. So you can read the story right here. You can look up this website. I quote this article's conclusion from the website above. It took approximately 4.5 billion years for a series of evolutionary transitions resulting in intelligent life to unfold on Earth. In another billion years, the increasing luminosity of the sun will make Earth uninhabitable for complex life. Intelligence therefore emerged late in the Earth's lifetime. More to come. The quote continues, together with the dispersed timing of key evolutionary transitions and plausible priors, one can conclude that the expected transition times likely exceeded the lifetime of the Earth, perhaps by many orders of magnitude. In turn, this suggests that intelligent life is likely to be exceptionally rare. Arriving at an alternative conclusion would require either exceptional conservative priors, finding additional instances of evolutionary transitions or adopting an alternative model that can explain why evolutionary transitions took so long on Earth without appealing to rare stochastic occurrences. The model provides a number of other testable predictions, including that M-dwarf stars are uninhabitable, that many biological paradoxes will remain unsolved without allowing for extremely unlikely events, and that, counterintuitively, we might be slightly more lucky to find simple life on Mars. So what is this saying? What is this saying? Here's my take on the article. It required tons upon tons of repeated incidences of luck upon luck for life to have rose on the Earth, and to have then subsequently survived the hostile ancient world as envisioned. It is patently obvious to me that abiogenesis is simply not plausible, and the existence of life on this planet was not a biochemical accident that then mutated and mutated favorably over eons to bring about all the diversity of life forms this planet has seen. What is evident when one is rational about things is that the Goldilocks zone our planet is situated within, as well as the very presence of complex life thereupon, screams out as clear evidence of design. A creative intelligence working, and the conditions then being provided over time to allow life to even exist in this vast, cold, and hazardous universe. We are very, very likely alone as intelligent life forms in the universe, yet not alone as beings that are part of an ancient plan. Unsettling, isn't it? Well, I've gone further than I expected, just discussing the lateral line system of fish. But you get the idea. Evolutionists will hold hard and fast to their religion about origins and how their ordered chaos of mutations explains everything. I, however, am choosing to be logical and see the simplicity in applying the Occam's razor approach, observing the facts of our world and holding fast to intelligent design to explain the existence of the universe and life as we experience it. What's the big resistance in the sciences to intelligent design? I have an idea, but human psychology is not my bailiwick. Thanks for watching. I await the onslaught of comments.